Good morning guys, and welcome back to the channel on this very chilly summer's morning. Don't know if the camera can pick up those raindrops falling down on the window this morning. It's not supposed to be like that today. They haven't talked any rain whatsoever. I'm supposed to be carting grain over to the shed there, and well, I don't really want to do it in the rain. Rightio, so what I'm doing this morning is I'm just bringing a few loads of grain back from the paddock. I got one load in the truck already and we're just dumping it in the grain shed here. I was not too keen on doing this year, but honestly the price of barley has gone down by like $50 a tonne or more over the last few weeks, so I'm definitely not going to deliver it to the silo for that price, so I'm going to store it here and sell it at a better price, hopefully. Absolutely had enough of this cool weather. This will definitely, well, we're planning on getting back out in the paddock today and doing some more harvest because it's supposed to be 25 degrees, and like the last 2 or 3 days we've had just some drizzle, rain. It's been, I don't think we've hardly got over 20 degrees, so we're like, right, we'll get back into it today, and well, it's raining this morning, so that's going to slow us down a bit, isn't it? Well, it kind of looks like the cloud is clearing out there, so that'll be very nice. I don't really want to be unloading this grain with that drizzly rain, because it just, the bloody chaff and straw and powder and everything just sticks to everything. So unfortunately, when we put grain in the shed like this, our only line of defence is to treat the grain as it goes in. Mainly we're treating it for weevils, because if we want this to stay in the shed for any length of time, they will get into it and make an absolute mess of it. They start eating the guts out of the grain, so this is the only thing we can really do to stop that when we put grain in a shed like this. But anyway, while we're standing here, let's have a quick look at the wheat, shall we? I mean, as you guys can probably see there on the camera, this stuff's still visibly green. It's got a long way to go yet, and the weather next week isn't looking favourable. It's looking like we're in the high teens for a lot of days. So this crop here in particular had 3 fungicides on it this year, and it's just, I think the wheat's going to disappoint a little bit, to be honest. Like, I would fully expect this wheat to fill out 4 grains wide this year. Well, this row here, there's 1, 2, 3 there. So same up the top here, only 3 wide. Up the top again here, oh no, it's barely got a 3rd one in there. So it's just, yeah, look, I think it's still going to yield fairly well, but it was just too wet and cold, I think, for it this year. We've done everything that we can, but it just doesn't seem like it wants to fill out all that well. So, as well as it maybe could or should or would on a different kind of a year, but that grain there is still pretty soft. So that's going to need a long time to dry out, to dry these stems out. Yeah, we're not going to be able to harvest wheat before Christmas this year. Which, talking to the old man, is basically unheard of in our area. He can't really remember a time where they haven't been able to harvest wheat before Christmas. So it will probably be ripe, but only just by then, I think. Alrighty, let's go collect this last load and get that in the shed. And then we're done carting grain for a while. Oh, I gotta get down from here. Oh, the things I do for you guys. Tell you what, we are gonna want every single one of those 25 degrees today. And maybe an appearance from that guy up there would be good too. Not quite a full load, but nevertheless we'll go tip her off. Well, that there is about 100 tonne of barley. It really doesn't look like much. It's crazy when you put it in a mound like that, how little it actually looks like. Okay, that is done, thank goodness. Well, there goes another load, well, a load of sheep back up to the land north of Peterborough, which is where I did a video where we went up there mustering. They had quite a lot of rain, not long after we took the sheep away from there. Things are looking pretty good up there apparently, so they're open to having more sheep on agistment up there, so they're going. Rightio, quick pit stop at the house there. I have got to go to town. I've got a whole heap of stuff that I need to sort out in there, so I'm going to go in there and do that, get that out the way. And it hasn't warmed up much out here, I can tell you that. Yeah, and it was raining a little bit again before, so just spitting with rain, so it's going to be one of those days. And just after I complained about it not warming up, the sun's finally broken through. Holy smokes, that was manic. I've just been here, there and everywhere. But anyway, I think I've got everything under control now. So the sun's out, which is nice. It's starting to feel warm. We might actually get a crack at it this afternoon. We'll see. Go home and get some lunch in, and then I got a few things to do with the header, and hopefully we can have a go. Well, from where we were at like 8 o'clock this morning, it is shaping up to be a really nice day. So if you guys haven't heard the story, or you don't know what's going on over here with this 50-foot auger that we have, I'll fill you in. I posted something on Facebook the other day, but here's some parts arrived today for it. Basically, you would have seen in one of my other videos some time ago that I was working on this auger. We had a new radiator to put into it. Well, I customised all the frame, did all that, got the new radiator in, got it running absolutely mint. Transferred grain around in it, which I think was maybe in my a couple of videos ago, I'm not sure, but it ran absolutely fine, no problems. Took it out on the first day of harvest, stuck it in a field bin, and it unloaded 3 tonne of grain, and then it overheated and started blowing smoke out of the exhaust, smoke out of the engine breather down there. There's smoke going everywhere, making a horrible noise. Well, pulled it all apart and came to find that this little thermostat, when you drop it in a bucket of water, of hot water, it just jams. It doesn't open. So that's nice. Literally a $5 part has pretty much ruined that engine. I mean, I'm going to say it's ruined, but it's still, we've started it and it runs and it actually sounds okay. So we're sort of hoping that we can just limp it through. It's probably got a nipped piston or something like that. So this little sensor here, I'm going to throw this in to see if it's going to cure a problem that I've got. This has now got a head sight kit on it, which means it picks up the position of the ground from back here at this sensor. But how it used to do it, here, or on the center arms, it's got one of these sensors there which it still uses. So what happens is I'm harvesting along, and this side of the front just starts cutting 8 inches off the ground, and the other side's basically in the dirt. So I've had enough of it. I've had enough. I only had one sensor in stock. I'm going to try this side first because it seems like this side might be the problem, but we're going to get a sensor in there. Now we might actually be onto something here, because I've been told these sensors are supposed to turn and then they're supposed to snap back into the same position like that. So that's the new one. Hopefully you can see that. That flings straight back into position. Now this old one, let's have a look at it. Nothing. She just spins and spins. So maybe there's a problem in this sensor. I hope this fixes it, because it's not a problem that happens all the time. It just happens intermittently, and maybe, you know, this sensor's just been on the fritz. So that excites me. But then again, strange things excite me. Rightio, let's slip this little sucker on. Oh wow, they really put that in an absolute terrible spot. You gonna fight me? Alright, I believe there is some calibrations or some settings on that. I've got to get some voltage set right on that, which means some adjustments or something, which I don't really know anything about, but Luckily I know the guy to call. Okay, so after a bit of a phone call, so since I've changed my sensor, I've got a warning light on now. I'm pretty sure, well, from what I understand, these voltages need to be between 0.5 and 4.5. So right now that one's reading high, so I've got to go down and adjust the sensor. We'll see what it does. Okay guys, so long story short is there's been a lot of swear words and frustration, and I ended up putting the camera down because I've been supplied the wrong sensor. I installed it and then I couldn't get the voltage to change. I ended up unbolting it and moving the sensor manually. It didn't move the voltage at all. Put the old sensor back on and it all works. Rang the dealer, yeah, oh yeah, you got the wrong sensor. Beautiful, beautiful. So anyway, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed. Anyway, we're gonna go have a try, see what the moisture's doing here. If it's no good here at home, we're gonna move over to another paddock that was desiccated 2 weeks ago. Well, just started harvesting and this is my concave clearance. It's reading -0.2, -0.4. Now I've got a fault there. You're kidding me! We're off to a beauty! Wow! Things are going well here. Things are going well. Oh, it just came back. Must be an electrical fault. I'll get out and I'll check the connector. I think the shear bolt's still intact. I'm not surprised if that wasn't reading properly with that pulling over like that. Anyway, it looks like the moisture's too high in here, so I'll just go up a bit further and turn around and come back and make sure, but yeah, it's reading like 15-16% still. Manual moisture test time. Let's see what she's reading. 10.4%. Well, the machine is reading a lot greener than that, so anyway, we'll do a bit more and see what we come up with after that. This crop is looking nicer than the paddock next door that I harvested, so that's a nice surprise. The moisture meter on the head is not loving life. See, 13-14%. I've seen it go higher, but I don't know, the manual test was coming in at 10%, so I'll take the manual test. Just poking along here. Holy smokes, that's a lot of barley. Well, we'll run back here only because we're about 100 meters away. I'll run another couple of little moisture tests and might move a truck out there, and I'll have a look at that plug too. I might try and tighten that plug up a little bit, stop it from dropping out my concave clearance while I'm harvesting along. Damn thing. We'll do another E like the other E. 11.7, that's still well and truly within. I think we're good to go, guys. Let's rip into it. Everything's still intact in there, which is good. It's a bit flimsy, isn't it? Anyway, we'll give that a go. Alrighty guys, we'll hopefully bring this day back from the brink of disaster. Get a couple of truckloads off. Alright, so I had a little bit of help from Dad. We've sort of moved everything into the paddock and got cut into it, so it's time for a few ups and backs to finish the night, I think. don't know, guys. I'm really honestly thinking about quitting in this paddock because there is so much milk thistle coming up through the barley. It's unbelievable. I'm shocked and appalled. You know, there's not much you can do about it as it's going through the header because naturally, you know, it's green and heavy. It's going to fall to the bottom and come through with the clean grain, with the clean grain. So, you know, I'm ending up with all this milk thistle in the grain tank, and it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't think I'd be able to deliver this to the silo, honestly. My only option is to come out here and try and spray it out. Because yeah, I'm going to run out of storage in the shed at some point, and what do you do then? It's got to go somewhere. Might just walk down and bring the truck back up. So number one, there's all this green coming up through the bottom of the crop as well. Now, I think this is milk thistle. It's either milk thistle or wild lettuce. I'd say that's milk thistle, but you can see just in this patch here, you know, there's so much of it coming up. You know, it's going to be a problem if we don't harvest it now. This stuff's going to come through and cause more troubles with the stuff that's already big. Sorry, I should also say, why have we got all that milk thistle coming up through the crop? It's just germinated on all the spring rain that we've had. It's done really, really well under the crop there. Didn't see any in the other paddock because I desiccated that, so I assumed that I basically killed it all. And this paddock didn't get desiccated, so I'm wishing that I did it now. Alrighty guys, I'm just going to chuck some juice in this bad boy here and call it a night. Hopefully I can make some sort of a video out of this footage today. I feel like it's been a little bit wishy-washy, stop-start kind of thing, but that's how it goes sometimes. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you all in the next one.